Hey, welcome to another episode of Dave's Imaginations. Today, we're going to play another round of RPG solo play as we dive into Death Knight Squire, Episode 3, as we follow Burrek Grumbleforge as he pursues the Death Knight Squire. Stay with me. So let's jump on in. Let's take a look. In Foundry, we have Burek standing in front of a mossy log, about to take an investigation. And before he does, he reflects on how he got here. So let's take a look at my notes. Burek sensor says, Lord Elric and Lady Brewmont, with their son, Darek Brewmont, supposedly abducted by some Death Knight and in the Weathercote wood. I'm investigating this. I just wanted some sleep. Sleep that dodges me with my voices I have in my head. Hard enough to sleep. But they promised to pay me 2,000 gold pieces if I'd return their son. I don't know if it's going to be possible. I've tracked them down to the Weathercote wood. Before I enter the wood, though, there was a tavern. The old man at the tavern says the legend is true that there was a Death Knight, and he did hang from some red tree because some brigands had kidnapped and killed his son, and in his rage, as he had plundered the local town of its money, the guards had chased him down, and he had killed all the guards, and they sent guards from another town, and eventually they captured and hung this knight from the red tree at Weathercote Wood, and so started the legend as the Death Knight has haunted this wood, every so many years, taking a new squire, and now they've taken young Darek Brewmont from the Lord Elric and Lady Brewmont, and I've tracked them down, and I've entered the Weathercote wood. I battled a couple spiders, and they dealt me quite the blow, but I found a potion of healing, and I had my own potion of healing, and with those, I'm back up to feeling very vibrant, just minor scratches at this point. In the second episode, then from the spiders, I found a lodge in the woods. In that lodge, there was what I thought was a Death Knight, but no, it turned out to be someone that called himself Murkbrood, a fantastic spectral type of creature who said he was a blood knight of Kirin Sali. If I knew how to spell knight. Blood knight of Kirin Sali. He was the dark goddess, enemy of Lolth and Orcus, the vengeful banshee. The Death Knight must die so the goddess can return, he said. And he put me on the quest. And to aid me in the quest, he gave me this sword, the sword of the goddess's wrath. Bonnie taking a rest on my back as I use this sword, magical sword, to battle the fantastic, supernatural, undead creatures. Giving this sword giving an extra amount of damage, fire damage, and then has an additional bonus against undead. On the path, I continue down the path, and on this path I find this odd man. They called him a Shagaxa. He talks to trees, birds, and woodland spirits, and indeed, he sent his fairy creature, some winged creature, to me, who offered me a blessing, and I chose robustness. And this little fairy creature said, "Say the word Pepperwood, and utter the word Pepperwood, and I would be rescued from a fate worse than death." And after he gave me that blessing, or I hope it's a blessing, I will indeed, if I come to my death's door, I will utter those words just in the hope. But he said, after he gave me the blessing, he said, "Run." And And I did. I ran as he said this Shigaxa guy was out of his mind and who knows what would happen. I ran from there and I stumbled upon. I ran until I felt like I was safe. But I stumbled upon a hole in the ground and I lowered myself down that hole to check out what was in there because I was looking for a place to rest, but I couldn't rest without knowing what's in that hole. And I found a thieves' den. In that thieves' den, I found a book looking for more information about this Neth Knight, but I opened the book and I found jade and pearls, expensive looking, and I couldn't help but pocket them. A blue spinel worth, it looks very, very expensive. But nervous that I might get spotted inside this thieves' den, I crawled back out the way I came in, and as I continued down the path, I found spots, a trail of blood. I followed the trail but I fell in a pit trap. Luckily, with my rope, I was able to lasso a branch and pull myself out before anyone caught me. Going further down the trail, I found that mossy log that sits in front of me, and let's jump back over to Foundry for a second. And here we have Burek standing in front of the path. I didn't notice last time, but they actually have footprints going across the path. So before I investigate this path, let's go ahead and reread this panel 7. If I go to panel 7, not panel 7, title page 4. Title page 4. The woods become even darker, deeper. Sound goes out of the air. There are no birds here, or something has frightened them into silence. It is hard to even tell what time of day it is. This deep in the forest. Across the path, I see a trail of boot prints leading from right to left. They lead back into the forest where it becomes very dense. However, there's no sign of the foliage being disturbed. Even though the footprints look relatively fresh, they could have been made as recently as last night. On the track ahead, I see the path eventually bends to the right, and on the corner there appears to be an entrance to a cave. Am I on the right? And now I wonder, am I on the right title page in Foundry? It says 4. So, I've checked for traps. I fell in the pit. I crawled back out of the pit. And now before me is this mossy log. It's time to investigate the mossy log. We'll go to the mossy log. I walk up to the moss-covered log, and as I near it, I see that it's covered with fungi, bright green mushrooms. I'm not sure if I have seen these kind before. Their color almost seems phosphorescent, like they would glow even at night. I make a survival check. DC 12. 17. I certainly pass. If I succeed, I go to Funky Fungi. Suddenly, it comes to me. Yes, I thought. It had seemed familiar. These are Grak spores, and they are well known to warriors, emboldening them before going into battle. Overjoyed at this find, I begin to gather the fungi into a small pouch. Weathercote wood is certainly full of surprises. Grak spores will grant immunity to the frightened condition or any fear effect. At full effectiveness for 1 hour, they can effectively be used for one encounter and can be consumed as a free action. After consuming them, they should take effect immediately. I add them to my inventory. I reached who knows what. It says when I reach a square joining the green marker, go to entry. Well, I came from 7, so I'll go ahead and hit the green. Who knows what? We'll see what happens. Did I make an earlier trap check on this pedal page? If I did, continue reading below. If you did not, go to oops. I did. And as I progressed deeper into the Weathercote wood, I realized that I'm very tired. Time has a mind of its own in this forest. It is evening already. Have the hours passed so quickly? The idea of rest enters my mind. Although I know that the area I am in is less than ideal for making camp. I may be disturbed by some wandering creature here. There's no way of telling. I guess I'll take a rest here. I'll make a DC 11 check. 10. Do I have a modifier? Survival. I do. A 12. Nice camp. I make a small camp just off the path and take out my bedroll. Make a bivouac that hides my presence well. Bedding down, I soon fall into a deep sleep, filled with many strange dreams, as the spirits in my head seem to not bother me so much tonight. Maybe it's my fatigue. But yet, strange dreams do indeed occur. Spectral knights stalk the forest, the blades keen and eager. It seems that I'm not the only one that misspells knights. Unless they mean evening, spectral knights stalk the forest, the blades keen and eager. I imagine myself hidden from them. Then I pounce out and stab one in the back, rip his helmet off, but its face is of a young boy. Despite my troubled dreams, I do sleep well, and I do recover only one hit die. I do recover one hit die. In the morning, I break camp and head back to the forest path. One hit die. What is my hit die? If I go to... I think it's a D10, isn't it? One D10 plus 3. I recover 1d10 plus 3, which I would hope would get me back to full strength. Let's see. 7 points. 7 points puts me back up to full hit points. And I'm going to count this as a short rest. So it would reset short rest. And take short rest. Confirm. All right. Now, back to the path. Let's see if I can find this. Find this Darek Brewmont before it's too late. I came from the north. I'll head to the south. Let's see what's in. Setting up the page here. Where am I? Am I lost? Where's Burek? Oh, here I am. What is this stone thing? As I come from 4 and I approach the green. The track leads deeper into the wood, and the light fades. Ancient trees line each side of the path, and I can't help but think, this wood is an excellent place to hide out. Then, ahead, I see something strange. It appears to be a low stone building at the corner of the track where it turns north. Tucked in amongst the trees, it is made solidly of gray stone. fronted by 2 large stone double doors. I move forward warily. Moving with stealth? Yeah, this is never good. I hope somebody's 5. It never works. Check for traps? Sure. Check for traps. Oops. 8. I move forward, alert as I investigate the surroundings. To check for traps in the surrounding forest, go to entry wood check. To approach for traps on the double stone doors. I'm going to check the doors for traps. Door check. I move my token. Move up to the stone building. Move up to the stone building. I start inspecting the handle and all around the door, looking for booby traps or traps of any description. Yet I don't find any. Is it all clear? I search around the door, but find nothing trap-like. Find nothing trap-like. So, should I try to open the stone door or leave and continue on forward? I'll open the stone door. I try to lift one of the... Oh, it's a coffin. But I try to lift the coffin's lid, but they're nailed. No, that's not right. Open the stone door. I grasp the metal ring and pull outwards. As I do, you hear an audible click and a psst sound. It was trapped. I hear the click and the psst sound. 2 darts come flying towards me. Towards me from cleverly concealed holes. Roll a d20 plus 8. If the result is higher than your AC, go to dart hits. Alright. Dart whizzes at me. Does it hit? 15 plus 8 is 20. Yes, certainly it hits. Oh! Dart hit. 2 darts shoot out of the cleverly concealed holes on the surrounding frame of the stone door. Straight at you. Straight at me. I recoil in pain as they pierce my skin. Roll 2d4. And deduct the results from my... Here's a glancing wound. 3 points of damage. Hit points come and they quickly go. As quickly as I tend to my wounds, I look inside the now open door. Beyond it, it is dark. There is a dark passageway. Some way. There is a dark passageway. Inside. There's a dark passageway inside, and I can see that a set of stairs leads down. Do I want to enter? Could Darek be down here? I'm gonna enter the passageway. Title page 3. What? I'm not in the right spot. Stone doors. Open doors. Yes, triggered. Dart hit. Enter passage. I entered the quiet, cool passage and pad softly down the corridor. Soon, I'm at the top of a flight of stairs, stone stairs, looking down. Now, this is presuming I have a light source or dark vision. I have a torch. If I do, I do have dark vision. I'm a dwarf. I can see. I don't need my start to pull out the torch. I'll use my dark vision for now. All right. I quietly walk down the stairs as quietly as I can, keeping an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. Could this be the place where Darek Brewmont is being held? I hold my breath, fearful of making any sound to disturb the deathly still air. Slowly I descend into the bottom of the stairs where a medium-sized chamber lies. I look all around for clues as to what this place is used for. As I become accustomed to the light, or rather, the lack of it, I notice that at the far end of the chamber is a large idol made out of bronze. By the looks of it, I know the god well. It's Amanator, the sun god, the god of law and justice, worshipped throughout Faerun. I also notice cushions lying about this place. It appears this room was once a monastery of some sort, used by devotees of Amanator for meditation, although what it's doing so far out in this wilderness is anyone's guess. I'm not a paladin. I'm not a cleric. But should I inspect the area around the altar? Or should I do a general search around the room? I'm going to explore the room. Let's explore the room. I explore the room. There are numerous nooks and alcoves around the side of this dusty room, many of them hidden in darkness. I search mindful of traps, but also on the lookout for any items of interest. As I walk, small puffs of dust rise up, seemingly undisturbed. For a long time, maybe years, maybe decades, I investigate. 14. Searching around the nooks and crannies, I find a few trinkets, items of worship, and other things of mostly worthless. Then I come across a pile of books stacked against the wall. Rummaging quickly through them, I find a scroll, a little bit flattened, but then, unrolling it, I see eldritch runes, meticulously written in red ink. At the bottom, in small writing, I see the following words printed in a neat hand. It's a scroll of curing wounds, gifted by the gracious cleric Cagnar, the indefatigable. All glory to Amantor. What a find. I stole the scroll in my backpack, feeling much better about how things are turning out. This is bound to come in handy. So I got a spell of cure wounds, first level. I get to add that to my inventory. The scroll, when used, will add 1d8 plus 2 hit points to the user. That'll come in handy. Now, how about that idol? Should I investigate the image of Amanator or leave the chamber? I'll investigate. I walk up to the large bronze idol of Amanator. It is exceptionally well made and seems like it was just placed here just yesterday. The metal gleams dully as I move around it. Then, as I move behind the altar, I see something lying on the ground, a holy symbol of Amanator. It is a long steel chain to be worn around the neck and is in the image of a large effulgent sun with runes on the front. This perhaps belonged to a cleric, monk, or paladin. take the item if I wish. Should I take the item? I think I will. I put the item in my pack. I have no use for these gods, but they plague me. Something plagues me, and who knows, perhaps having this on hand might come in handy at some point. I've already inspected the room. I think it's time to leave this chamber. There's a picture of the building, I suppose. I climb the stairs, leading up from the chamber back toward the woods, the dim light of the Weathercote wood. Clear my throat as the dust has coated my throat. I pull out my pack. I take a drink. Yes, the water nourishes me. Soon, I'm back outside the great stone double doors that led to the underground temple. Let's check my progress. Going back. So, I've checked for traps. No, I didn't check for... No, I did on the door. Should I, when I move my token, should I move through to the next area? Should I take the bend and follow the path? I've already investigated the stone building. If I'd rather keep going, then your character continues around the bend and north, or when you reach a square, join the marker. Go to round the twist. Somehow I feel like I'm going the wrong way down this path. Let's round the twist. Oh no. Something's here. Something's been here. Let's see what. D100 roll. I contemplate my fate. 87. Garb. What could garb mean? I make my way quickly up the path, keep an eye out for enemies to my right. Something catches my eye. Something moves in the trees. I freeze. Hand on the sword of the goddess, and look, squinting through the trees, through the dense undergrowth. It appears to be a cloak hanging from a branch and moving slightly in the breeze. It is a deep green, a forest green, easily missed. I go. Could this be Darek's cloak? Inspect the cloak. Cloak check. I make my way off the path just slightly, primed for any movement, and walk slowly up to the cloak, looking around. Pulling it down off the branch, I turn it over in my hands, inspecting the workmanship. It looks like it belonged to someone about my size. And you place it over your shoulders to try it out. I feel a change come over me. Instantly, I feel more secure. More hidden. I have a feeling this cloak could come in very handy. Add a cloak of protection to my inventory. This cloak will give me +1 bonus to AC and saving throws while I'm wearing it. Wow! What a find! What a find! It says. This will be. I'm very pleased with this. But I should move down the path and continue on my way. Wait, before I do that, around the twist, I got a garb. I want to add that to my inventory for sure. Cloak check. Cloak check for sure. Cloak of Protection. Let's go add that to our inventory. We'll activate that. Inventory. Cloak. And apparently I need to be of protection. North of there. I have to manage inventory. Add items. Yes, I will add that. Equipment. And I will activate. All right. Well, that certainly helps. Let's read that. Let's take a look at that inventory again. Inventory item, Cloak of Protection. Click on that. Wondrous item. Gains +1 AC and saving throws while I wear this cloak. Very nice. All right. So let's go back. Let's go back to title page, right? So cloak check, and now we go to title page 3. And I think it's time to move on to either 4 or 1. I think it's time to go to 1. And I'm Foundry. Title page 1. Tile page, not title page, tile page. This is a familiar spot. I move ahead deeper into the woods, and it almost seems as if the trees themselves are watching my progress. Indeed, as I go, I really do get the feeling that I'm being watched. Now, which way have I gone? As I move up to the middle, it feels like I've been this way before. I move with stealth as best I can. Perhaps it's this cloak, but I feel a little bit more stealthy. There's a 12 on the die. A 13 on the die. I pass my... Ooh. It says here, I succeed with my stealth check. Because I succeeded, I may add 10 points to any D100 chance rolls I make while on this tile page. So I will check this tile page for traps. DC 12 plus 10. 17. That's fun. I search carefully around, but see nothing to indicate traps are here. When I'm ready, I move further into the woods, and I quietly enter. I pause for a second, thinking I heard something, but no, it was some bird flipping out of cover. I watch it rise into the canopy and look around at the 3 paths that lead off from here. Which way should I go? Which way should I go? Which way should Burek go? Which way indeed? As that's where we'll end episode 3 of Burek Grumbleforge searches for the Death Knight Squire. Hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. If you are enjoying this, I would really appreciate it if you go ahead and like this, maybe subscribe, and turn on alerts for when I produce and put out the next episode of the Death Knight Squire. Hey, thanks for joining.